The conflict between the Ethiopian government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF) has been trending on news platforms and social media for a while. According to the official website of the Office of the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, the Tigray People's Liberation Front attacked the Ethiopian National Defense Force base in Tigray. This marked the beginning of the conflict. A press statement released on 4th November 2020 indicated that TPLF raided the Defense Forces base, attempting to steal military equipment. The statement indicated that TPLF attacked the Defense Forces base as a way to show that they did not recognize it. The Ethiopian government says that for months it had been patient and condoned the actions of TPLF, but when the provocation reached the level of attacking a police base, it decided to retaliate. TPLF had been using garments with close resemblance to those of Eritrean defense forces, a move to create a diplomatic conflict between the Ethiopian and Eritrean governments. In the same press release, the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali called on Ethiopians to support the work of the defense forces as they fought to bring back stability in the Tigray region. On the same day, 4th November 2020, the government declared a state of emergency within the Tigray region. A second press release explained that the Council of Ministers had met and agreed to issue a state of emergency declaration in line with the Constitution of Ethiopia. The press release went on and said that the ministers saw the need to maintain the peace of Tigray and the country at large, saying that they gave first priority to the security and safety of the citizens of Tigray and Ethiopia. The statement cited that the acts of the TPLF within the Tigray region were going against the constitution and interfered with the activities of the federal government of Ethiopia. The press release stated that the rebellious nature of TPLF could potentially diminish the sovereignty of Ethiopia, hence the need of the government to take control of the situation. The statement further elaborated that the situation had escalated to a level whereby it could not be controlled through normal law enforcement measures, since TPLF had refused several times to heed to directions coming from the federal government of Ethiopia. The statement mentioned that the state of emergency would be enforced for a period of 6 months, and it appointed a task force to ensure that the decree was followed throughout the Tigray state. On 6 November 2020, the federal government of Ethiopia released another press statement explaining the situation of the ongoing conflict with TPLF. The statement explained that the government had to heighten measures to bring into control and curb the activities of TPLF, which it termed as unconstitutional. It explained that the National Defense Forces had started an operation within the Tigray region. The press release further elaborated that over a period of 2 years since the current leadership took over government, it had been open to peaceful negotiations, but TPLF were not willing to cooperate. It mentioned how TPLF organized an unconstitutional election, made themselves the leaders of the Tigray region, decided to cease to recognize the federal government, and reportedly began a process of withdrawing from Ethiopia. The press statement further elaborated that the federal government ordered its forces to defend themselves and the region after TPLF decided to raid the Northern Defense Force base on 4th November 2020. It also mentioned that the House of People's Representatives had approved the state of emergency that had been proposed by the Council of Ministers on 4th November 2020. Among other things, the state of emergency imposed a curfew, restricted movement in the form of transportation, allowed the officers in charge to detain TPLF suspects, and use appropriate defense force to bring back peace and order within the Tigray region. On 28 November 2020, Abiy Ahmed Ali, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Ethiopia, through his official Twitter account, posted information that the Ethiopian Defense Forces had taken control of the Mekelle city, which marked the final stage of the Defense Forces operation to regain control of the Tigray state. He continued to explain that the police would proceed to prosecute all individual suspects who were detained during the operation. The Prime Minister mentioned that the operation also managed to free the Defense Forces officers who had been captured by TPLF during the raid of the Northern Defense Forces base on 4th November 2020. He further mentioned that the defense officers carried out the operation with due care that ensured innocent citizens were not harmed. He proceeded to thank the residents of the Tigray region for the support they showed to the defense forces who undertook the mission. The Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed also mentioned that the way forward after concluding the mission was to rebuild broken ties and ensure all people who migrated to neighboring countries come back to their homes and resume their normal activities. As he concluded the statement, the Prime Minister expressed his appreciation to the international community, including the African Union, for their concern during the time of conflict. He also called upon well-wishers to help in providing humanitarian support to the Ethiopians who were affected by the conflict.